So, good afternoon, class. Okay. Um, do we have checking of attendance? Who is absent today? Anyone? Anyone can tell? Wala. Okay. So, how is your D class? It was great. Okay, that's good to know. So, are you ready for today's topic? Okay. But before that, before we proceed, okay, but before that, we will going to have a recap, or we're going to recall what was our topic yesterday. So how can we recall about our topic yesterday? So anyone? Okay, our topic yesterday was all about basic elements of poetry. So now tell me, what are the basic elements of poetry? So yan. Anyone? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. So, our first elements of poetry is that was tackled yesterday is rhythm. Of course, rhythm is rated by the pattern of stress and asterisk syllables in the line or verse. So, next is we have meter. When we say meter, it is the basic and rhythmic structure of a line within a work of poetry or poem. So, next is we have stanza. Of course, this is a group of lines within the poem. So, next is we have rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme. The pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem. Next is we have rhyme. Of course, rhyme, when we say rhyme, it is the repetition of syllables, typically at the end of a verse line. Next is we have theme. When we see in theme in the poem, it is the lesson or the message of the poem. Yeah, next is we have symbolism. When we say symbolism, it is literary device where the symbols work to represent ideas. Next is we have imagery. When we say imagery, it is used by the poet for readers to create an image in the reader's mind, or it appeals the five senses. Yeah, it appeals the five senses. So I guess you really understood our yesterday's topic. So um wait a minute, are we going to share my screen to you guys, of course. I apologize for the interruption because our signal is so slow. I don't know if still sorry because there's a technical interruption because our internet is so slow, because I'm just using mobile data, as you can see. My god. Sorry, I'm just wait. I'm still looking for the file that I'm going to. Here it is. Okay. So let's proceed. Okay. There's a technical problem with my phone. Just wait for a while. Jesus. Wait for a while, guys. There's a signal interruption. I don't know if I can share my screen to you. Napakahirap talaga ng signal. Okay, here we go. Let's proceed. So, our topic this today is about Afro-Asian poetry. So, in engaging in this lesson, you will come up with the following. Of course, please listen. Of course, you will be acquainted to some Afro-Asian poets. And of course, you will interpret and analyze what are the masterpieces of those poets. So, of course, you will also improve your communication skills. So, this will be it will in engaging this lesson they will come up you will come up with this following, like what are those things on your screen. So before we are going to move forward in our next lesson, we need to have by peer activity. So of course, I will provide each pair of you some masterpieces of poems. So what you are going to do, you are going to search it in the internet and you are going to familiarize like what's masterpiece is this, and with your peer you are with your peer you should be acquainted like who is the writer of this poem, and later we will explain it one by one. So here is the masterpieces. Okay, the direction that I have mentioned earlier. Of course, here is the masterpieces that you need to search in the internet. So the first is we have the old band. Second is we have a compliment. Just like what I have said earlier, search on the internet like who is the poet of this, who who is the poet. Be familiar with them, because later we will have a further discussion with it. To it. I will give you 5 minutes to do that. Shin din 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 din. Okay, class, are you done? Are you done? Okay, let's proceed. Okay. Wait for a while. So, sorry. So, what you have observed to to the poem that to the masterpieces or the poems that I have represented to you. Of course, the probable observation of that, they are from Afro-Asian. They are Afro-Asian poetry. So, okay, thank you so much for that. So, for now, we are going further discuss like who are the writer of this poem, and of course we will going to analyze like where we will going to analyze these two masterpieces, of course. So our first poem was written by, of course, our first poem or the first poem do we have right now was a Japanese poem called Haiku, which was entitled The Old Band. It was written by Matsu Basho. So now tell me, who is Matsu Basho? Anyone? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that. So Matsu Basho is, just wait. Okay, Matsu Basho is one of the most celebrated Japanese poets, considered to be the master of the haiku. His works praised for its brevity and clarity. So that is Matsu Basho. So anyone could you please read the Japanese form of the poem, then the translation? Anyone? Okay, please read please on your screen. Anyone, please read the Japanese form of the poem and the translation. Okay. Okay, The Old Band by Matsu Basho. Furokiya kawawazu tobikumo mizo no oto. In translation, the old band, a frog jumps, sound of water. So that's it. So what you have noticed to the poem? So as you can see, I think for me the poem is inspired like what he have seen or what he have witnessed in the surrounding or in the nature that the writers or the poet of I mean the the poem is inspired, of course, to the nature of the writer or the poets. So just like what I have said earlier, it is inspired by nature. Matsu gives vivid pictures of nature in its simplest form while providing us with symbolic meanings towards a person's state of mind. So, meaning to say, Matsu Basho masterpiece or every masterpiece of Matsu Basho, each of his poem is not only poem, that is inspired by what he have witnessed or what he have seen in the environment or in the nature that he have. It is also, it has or of course it has symbolic meanings. It has symbolic meaning. Yeah. It has symbolic meaning. If you are going to explore its if you are going to explore like what masterpiece do he have. So it has symbolic meaning, just like what I have said earlier. So Basho provides symbols, of course, uh and in the poem that we have right now from Machu Bashu, I think the symbols, I think it's pond. I think it it could be pond or frog and water. Of course, these are from our mother nature. So it reflects, or of course it symbolizes our mother nature. So I think that's all for this first poem. So next poem do we have was written by Confucius. Now, who can read the details about Confucius? Okay? Anyone? Okay? Thank you so much. So Confucius, he is a Chinese philosopher. He is not only a poet or yeah, he is not only a poet, but he is also a Chinese philosopher from 551 to 479 BCE, or before Christ era. So um, it was said on the screen that he claimed to be a restorer of ancient morality, and held that proper outward acts based on the five virtues of kindness, such as outward acts based on the five virtues, such as kindness, uprightness, decorum, wisdom, and faithfulness constitute the whole of human dignity. So that's Confucius. So anyone can read the 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 poem written by Confucius, which was a complaint. Anyone? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So the poem goes like this: He lodged us in a spacious house, and plenteous was our fear, but now at every frugal meal there's not a scrap to spare. Alas, alas, that this good man could not go on as he began. So that is complaint by Confucius. So could you tell me, or what would be the possible or probable lesson of the poem that your classmate reading? Okay. Okay. Say, I think the thing that what you have think, or what are the things comes up in your mind, I think it is correct, because I know there is something in your mind, but you are not participating, but it is okay. What are the things comes up in your mind, it is correct. So, but for me, the moral lesson of this poet is the generosity decrease with familiarity, the decreases with familiarity, and simplicity and brevity. So therefore, popularity, moral is decrease with familiarity and simplicity and brevity. So therefore, the no, popularity is I mean popularity is can't defeat, or can't defeat simplicity and brevity. So simplicity and brevity is more than popularity. So that's it. That's the moral lesson of the poem. So I think that's all for that two poems that I have represented to you. So, I think so. Um, I think those poets that I have introduced to you were just a few, together with the masterpiece that they have written. So what we are going to do right now is we will be having a group activity, but I think there will be no time for this. So what we are going to do right now is we will be having a short quiz. So, but before we were going to before we will going to but before we will going to engage short quiz, I will going to discuss first the direction of the presentation. Of course, I will going to assign like who will be your man, or who will be the poet that you will going to do the presentation. So our first for group 1, you will going to search like who is Willibrordo Surendra or Bruto Rendra in the internet. You are going to define like who he is and identify his at least one of his poem. Afterwards, of course, you will represent all of the information you got about this poet, include one of his poem that you have selected through breaking news report. Yeah, because my idea of this is you will going to present you will going to have a presentation, of course, in a very creative manner. So for group 1 is through you are going to represent this writer or poet through breaking news report. So for group 2, you are going to research or search in the internet like who is Flavien Renaivo. The same with group 1, you are going to find more information about him and select at least one of his poems. Later, next meeting, you are going to represent all of the information you have collected together with the poem that you have selected through a somewhat like you have a short interview to someone else. So, I think short interview to someone else. So, it could be your since we are in pandemic right now, so what you are going to do is you are going to have a short interview through virtual interview. But since you have a short interview, you have a short interview virtually. So find ways to do that. Of course, I know it is difficult, but it is worth it if you will overthrow this, because I will give you a lot of points for this. Okay, so for the last group or the third group is the same with the other group. Search Omar Khayyams. So select also one of his poems. Then later you are going to next meeting also you are going to represent your work through as somewhat like you have a short advertisement of a product. So something you are going to make an advertisement about him. So I think that's all for your presentation. So it will happen next meeting, so be prepared for it, because this is very important, because this is performance task. This is part of your performance task. So please be guided also to the given criteria. Number 1 is information relevancy, 25 points. Clarity of the presentation, 20 points. Unity, you will be given 5 points. The total of 50 points. 50 points. So I think that's all for your next presentation next meeting. So next is we will be having a short quiz. Okay, short quiz. Enumeration. Number one is you will who are the Afro-Asian poets that we are being discussed as our lesson for today. Except um 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 for those for those poets that are not being discussed, like those poets who are included in the presentation are excluded in this quiz. So I think there we have only two, 'di ba? We have only two Afro-Asian poets that we are being discussed. So yeah, enumerate that. So next is we have second number or number 2 in our short quiz. You are also give the poems that you have written that are being included into this lesson, di ba? I think there are only two. So this quiz you will be given 2 points. I think you will be given I think 10 points of 10 points of this, because times your score will be times 2, and it will be added 2 points for your quiz today. So I think that's it. So okay, but before we are going to uh I sorry for that. uh okay. Before we're going to have a quiz, okay, continue. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes for this. Okay, are you done? Yeah. I mean, I think it is a very short quiz, so I will give you 2 minutes for this. Okay, are you done? Okay, thank you so much. I think that's all for your short quiz. I think to check your short quiz, I think you will going to take a picture in it, then send it in our group chat via of course via messenger, because it is group chat, of course. So I think that's all for short quiz. So before we are going to end our class, I have a question for you. So just wait for a while. I still working. So what do you think? I mean, so tell me class, like why it is necessary to study not only our own poetry but also others like Afro-Asian poetry. Anyone? Anyone? Nothing? Okay, since we don't have volunteers, so here's the reason why we need to study other Afro-Asian other foreign countries, foreign literary pieces like poetry of Afro-Asian. So here's the reason. When the students study, of course, for literature or others poetry, they learn to appreciate words and their power. They travel to other realms and times through the text they read. They understand about their own cultures and others. Importantly, they learn to consider they learn the I mean you will learn to consider multiple perspectives and understand the complexity of the human nature. I think that's all for that. So let's proceed. Uh-huh. So, let's proceed. For your assignment, so search on the internet because it is only just few. I will give you only, I think it only 6 poets. So search on the internet the other Afro-Asian poets and read all the information as well as their masterpieces because it will help you guys to improve your writing skills. Yeah, it will give you some clues how to become a poet if you wanna become a poet. So I think that's all for this presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your listening. Just wait, there's a interruption. Okay. Wait. Just wait for a while. There's an interruption.